Hey everybody, it's Dr. Lee Sierra. It's been a little while since I've seen you guys. I'm back from maternity leave, and I just wanted to talk to you a little bit about summer and sunscreens. It's getting hot here in Florida. I know some of you might not live in Florida that you're watching this, but here we've already had some record hot days. We had Memorial Day weekend this past weekend, and one of the questions I get a lot from patients and people on Facebook is, how do you know a healthy sunscreen? There was just an article last week about some dangerous things in sunscreen and dangerous brands you should watch out for. That's on my Facebook page, and you can check that out. But how do you find a healthy one is the question I usually get, or how do I know what's good and what's going to protect me? So number one, the best thing to do is if you're going out in the sun, you want to wear protective clothing. I mean, those fishing shirts or those, now it's super popular, the rash guards for kids and so forth. Those are the best things to do to protect yourself from the sun, because then you don't have to put any chemicals on your body. It is, I get it, unrealistic to be doing that all the time. But at the same time, it's the best thing for you. So, I do like to get some sun. That's how we get our vitamin D intake up. But usually after being in the sun for a little while, I'm going to put on one of those shirts, put on my hat, and, go about that. But I do like to wear sunscreen, especially on my face. I do put some on my son if we're swimming and things like that. So number one, to protect yourself from the sun, using protective clothing. Number two, look for shade. If you're going to the beach, bring a tent, bring an umbrella, go to places that have natural shade where you can, avoid the sun for part of the day at least. The other thing that you can do is, again, in Florida here, it's really hot already, so try to spend your time outdoors in the evenings or out of that peak sun time, which is between 10 a.m. and 2 p.m. In the evenings, it's still pretty warm here, but at the same time, spend some more time then, and then you won't be getting that sun exposure all the time. And the one comment I would have about different sunscreens, and I'm going to talk to you about how you find healthy ones, is, a higher SPF, so SPF 60 plus, SPF 50 plus is not necessarily better. Those haven't been really shown to be able to cause people to be in the sun for longer times, prevent burning better, and so forth. So when you're looking for your sunscreens, don't use that as your main criteria. What I like to do is I usually go to the website, which is called the Environmental Working Group, and it's ewg.org. And when I go on that website, they have all kinds of guides on there. One of my favorite guides is the Skin Deep Guide, because it's a guide to basically all of the products that you put on your skin. So soaps, lotions, hand sanitizers, but makeup is a big one on there, because us females, we have a tendency to put more things on our skin. So check that out. But they have a sunscreen guide that they post every summer. It just came out recently, so you can check that out. And I have a few sunscreen tips from that guide that I'm just going to share with you guys. Number one, the first tips were the ones I just shared with you, but safe chemicals in sunscreen that are going to protect you from the sun are titanium dioxide and zinc oxide. Those are the actual sun repellent ingredients, if you will. So be looking for those as the active ingredient in the products that you're purchasing. One that you want to avoid is oxybenzone. It hasn't been shown to be healthy or safe, and actually the Environmental Working Group tried to get the FDA to do a research study on it many years ago, almost 10 years ago, and they still haven't done it. So watch out for that one. It's been linked to a lot of different problems, and you can see they have a whole section on that on their website in the Sunscreen Deep Guide, but that's something that you want to watch out for. So when I go to the store, there's a couple things that I do. Number one, I buy the same products often just because it's easier, but I do like to try new ones. A lot of people complain that when you use zinc that you end up white. But different brands have different whiteness, if you will. So check that out and see if you can, try some different ones, figure out which ones work for you. I'll tell you some of my favorites here in a minute. But the guide, you can print it out or just check it out before you go to the store. They also have an app. It's called the Healthy Living app. But if you search EWG in your app store, you should be able to find it that way. It's a little green icon. But some of my favorite ones, if you're going for beach or sport sunscreen, things like that, Alba has been one of my favorites forever. But check the guide. Some of their sunscreens are rated a 4 out of 10, and some of them are rated a 1 or 2 out of 10. So make sure you're checking that out. I personally like the purple bottle, and I want to say that's a 2. But you can look right on that guide. It shows you what the bottle looks like, and it also tells you the level of toxicity. Now, that being said, they're rated from 1 to 10, with 10 being the most toxic, so you want to hover around a 1. And some of them are actually EWG certified, so you can look for those as well. My other second favorite one is Babo. They have a great stick, so you have like a little sunscreen stick. I really like that for like face, ears, things like that, like if we're going on the boat or to the beach. Pacifica is another brand, and then Think Sport. Some of the reasons why I like these brands is because they're available at the store. I don't have to order them online, so a lot of these are at Target. Target has a huge sunscreen section now, but some of them you'll find in the baby section. So that brings me to the next area, is kid sunscreens. I've pretty much always buy kid sunscreen just because they're usually lower in toxicity. Hey Ashley, I see that you're in the hunt for some better sunscreen, so you can check this out. And I love Target, so most of these are available at Target, but check out the baby section. Babo is on there again, but Badger has been around for forever, and that's one of my favorites. Bear Republic is also available at Target, and then I do really like Baby Ganex. I feel like that has really good bang for your buck. I want to say it's SPF 50, but again, it doesn't, the number isn't the big thing. I think it's also readily available, and it lasts a long time because it goes a long way, and it's easier to rub in my opinion. The other one that I really like is Beauty Counter. My sister-in-law was really nice, and she sent me some of that right after I had my daughter. And I will say that was probably one of my favorites. That's something that you have to order online, and I can send you a link for that if it's something you're interested in. But overall, if you go on that guide, find what works for you and your family. I do always try to keep a little tube of sunscreen. Baby Ganex comes in like a little small tube in the kids section. So I stick that in our diaper bag. So I always have it with me, and also with a little bit of bug spray from them. And then I also make sure I put the sunscreen on before I leave the house, so it has time to absorb and all of those good things that we've been doing for a long time. So again, this is just some tips about how you can find good sunscreen for you and your family. But when you're in the store in Target, hook up on their Wi-Fi, you can go right on to the website and look at the different brands that they have there, and you can figure it out. You don't have to do it before you go. So again, I'm Dr. Lee Sierra. If you have any questions about this, comment here or comment below, and I'll reply to them or send me a message. Bye guys, have a great day. Happy summer.